Hey there, I'm Ian Douglas. I'm the author of the website techinterview.guide, and I'm here to help people with career advancement and interview preparation. My live stream on Twitch covers topics such as company research, how to build resumes and cover letters, applying for the job, getting through interviews, and what to do during negotiations. I've coached thousands and thousands of people over the years to get jobs at the biggest tech companies in the industry, and I'm here to help you too. The following episode is taken from a longer live stream event and may contain interactions with other people in chat. Check out the end of the episode for more information. Let's get to it. Another question from our Discord community says, I've been practicing on LeetCode, but I don't understand how other people get to an answer. Can I just memorize the solutions to fake like I know what I'm doing? Short answer is no, because you don't know what you're going to get in a real technical interview, and trying to memorize hundreds of solutions is not going to be beneficial at all. Some people have really good memories and you'll be able to do that, but just memorizing the solution isn't going to be helpful, because during an interview, I'm going to want you to explain why you're doing what you're doing. I think it's important to be able to communicate what you're doing, but also why. Why did you choose to do it that way? Why did you choose to implement the algorithm in a particular way? And if you don't understand how the algorithm works, then you're not going to be able to explain it. And I'm going to start being really suspicious about like how you came up with the algorithm. And so I've actually got a couple of LeetCode videos, and I'll drop these links in the description for the audio podcast and in the YouTube video later on. You can go check this out. It's I made a little short URL thing that you can go. This will take you over to the YouTube channel, where I have a couple of videos on how to do LeetCode smarter. And what I would recommend is go figure out what the top 10 algorithms are going to be, like depth first search, breadth first search, heap problems, two-pointer problems, and so on. Go find like the top 10 of those patterns, and then go find a number of questions for each of those patterns. Go look at other people's answers and start writing out pseudocode for how they came up with those answers. That's basically what I'm talking about in these YouTube videos, but I also talk about how to come up with a rotation of every day I'm going to practice a different kind of pattern of problem. So today's going to be depth first search, tomorrow's going to be breadth first search, and so on. Come up with a schedule like that. And then every day you're going to go through a different pattern of problem. And if you don't understand how to solve it, go look at the answers that other people have written and write out pseudocode for what they did. The tip that I give in one of those videos is, if you go look at an answer in a programming language that you don't know, it forces your brain into high-level thinking, where you're like, okay, well, I don't understand Java, and so I'm looking at Java code. I see they're passing in a parameter, and I see they're doing a for loop with that parameter, so I'm just going to write down the words like loop over list of numbers. And then, you know, in that loop, what are you doing? Well, now I'm like adding 5 to each of those numbers or something. Like try to figure out from their algorithm what you think they're doing by writing out pseudocode, and then try to go answer it in whatever programming language you do know. This is what's going to help the process a lot, is writing out pseudocode for a language you don't know, and then go try to implement your own pseudocode in your own language. But if you go look, like if I'm a Python developer and I go look at another answer in Python, I'm going to start memorizing the syntax. And yeah, it'll be easier for me to read, to understand like what's actually happening for that particular language. But I'm more likely to start memorizing the syntax of it instead of understanding the high-level strategy of how do I solve that kind of problem. And this is where you need to get to. You need to be able to read a prompt and go, oh, that's a backtracking algorithm. Okay, for backtracking, these are the steps that I need to do. These are the high-level strategy steps that I need to solve a backtracking algorithm. I have a loop of decisions. I act on a decision. I repeat all that work. And if something doesn't work out, I undo a decision. So that's every backtracking algorithm in 4 steps. You want to solve a maze? You have a list of directions you can go. You go left, you go forward, you go right, and then you repeat by walking to the next intersection. And when you get to that intersection, you got those choices all over again. And so you make a choice and you repeat. You walk to the next intersection and so on. If you hit a dead end, you undo a decision by walking back to a previous intersection. And then figure out from there, okay, well, going left didn't work. Let me go straight instead. So that's every backtracking algorithm in 4 steps. So understanding those high-level strategies of, oh, okay, I have to traverse this tree and I've got to constantly go up and down the tree and go through all these branches to try to find what I'm looking for. That sounds like a backtracking algorithm. So this is how I'm going to start with these 4 steps and then figure out what other code I need around that. but that's already got you halfway to your answer, is just understanding what that high level strategy is. So if you've got the brain power to memorize code, I would rather spend that brain power memorizing strategies instead of the actual syntax, because if you don't understand how or why to solve a problem in a particular way, memorizing syntax to a problem isn't going to get you through it. Because the chances that a company is actually going to LeetCode and pulling up a question that you happen to have done recently enough that you still remember the exact syntax to solve it, if you just sit there and you like crank out the code top to bottom because you've memorized it, as an interviewer, I'm going to look at that and go, oh, you've solved this one before, or you've memorized that code. So I might start poking holes in it and say, okay, well, go add this feature, go change this, or like, why did we come up with that bug, or why did you choose to do it that way and not this way? And if you can't explain it, then you have not sufficiently demonstrated that skill to me, and I'm going to pass on you as a candidate anyway. So it's not going to help you to just memorize syntax. You have to memorize the strategy. So if you're going to spend brain power on it, focus on the strategy. So go check out those YouTube videos, and feel free to connect with me again, and let me know if you need help with that. But those two YouTube videos, one of them, like I said, is going to help you figure out a schedule of like rotating through those patterns on a regular basis. And then the other one goes into a deep dive on, let's go look at a couple of answers, go write out some pseudocode, compare all the pseudocode from one answer to another to try to determine that high level sort of order of steps or operations that you need to solve that pattern or problem. And hopefully that'll help you out. Thanks for checking that out. I hope that you found it helpful. I always appreciate feedback, so please let me know what you think. I appreciate any subscriptions, so please tell your friends and colleagues about it as well. Check out the website techinterview.guide for more information about when I'm live streaming and all of my free content. Drop by a live stream anytime to ask questions or message me privately, whatever makes you most comfortable. See you next time.